Week 19, second grade, habitats. Second grade, what we're going to do is work on these mats right here. And I have a forest mat, a grassland mat, freshwater mat, desert mat, and a saltwater mat. And I have given the kids animals to sort. And the important thing here is that they understand why they're placing them there. You know, we're going to have a lot of controversy over where these animals go. For example, we've got a little brown lizard right here, little horny toad. And if they've never seen this, they might think it lives in the grassland. Or they might have seen something like this in a forest. But this little guy actually lives where it's dry and deserty. And they can kind of guess that by his coloring, because he kind of has rugged camouflage in there in that desert. So we're going to place him there, but they're going to... Second grade, this is a picture of your mats, how they're going to look. There's a pile of your animals. We're going to continue with our sorting. I've got this fish that I got out of the fishing lures. And you know what? They can decide where he wants to live. He might be blue on top, so their reasoning might be he's a saltwater fish. Or they might pick this one, and he's dark on top, so he's a freshwater fish. Whatever their reasons are, you need to listen to their... Keep rotating around the room and listen to their reasons. Ask them why. Little prairie dog. They might want to put him in the desert, but he actually lives in the grasslands. But you know, you need to listen to what they have to say. They need that soft, loamy soil to dig their tunnels in. Their little tunnels in the desert might cave in on them. But there are animals that burrow in the desert. We have a bear. We've been talking about bears now for 2 weeks. And here's a bear. But you know what? They might decide he lives in these woods along that water's edge because they've heard in the books that bears live along water. So as long as they use a good scientific reason, they could place him over here in the forest. If you know, here's a question to ask them. Does the bear live on the forest floor? Or does he live up here in the canopies? Because I hope they pick the forest floor, because we have the little woodpecker here. And they might decide, you know, this bird lives right here in this tree. Because they actually live on the side of trees and peck on them and get the worms out. If they choose to put their woodpecker over here in the desert, you'd need to ask them, well, I wonder what that woodpecker is going to eat over here in the desert. They need to understand that the habitat determines where the animal's going to live. Like we know the woodpecker can't live over here, what's he going to eat? So if you see an animal, as you walk around the tables and you see these mats and you see the animals placed, say, okay, why did you put it there? And question them. Let them go back to the room and draw a picture of where they would like to live. And what would their habitat be like? They don't have to copy what I've given them as photographs. They can make up their own habitat and their own story. This is just a good way for kids to understand that animals have adapted to their habitats.